Better than Ilia. Ilia, stop running, Ilia. Stop running, Ilia. Good boy. I'll make it quick, no worries. Good boy.
Do you know if those conversations about a title fight are ongoing with the UFC?
They didn't tell anything yet to me. So I'm just still waiting, training, and trying to call out Ilia as much as possible.
Arman Tsarukyan has been putting in the work and making it clear he wants his shot at Ilia, calling him out non-stop while Ilia keeps dodging and ducking. The tension is real, the hype is building, and you can almost feel the pressure mounting between them.
But, you know, I got patient. I know, like, mine is mine, and I'm gonna get everything that I deserve it. And I just work hard, and I know, like, that title is mine, and it just takes time to get it.
You just don't deserve it. He doesn't want to do it.
I mean, he feels that he's gonna lose the fight, and it's better to give the belt and then like go up or like wait when what happened with me, because he knows just I'm a big problem for him, and I'm gonna get his title.
Arman isn't holding back though, and the way he talks about Ilia gives you a clear sense that he sees exactly what's going on behind the scenes.
So, but
Yeah, we've seen some of the tweets towards Ilia. They've been funny. I enjoyed the duck video that you did. What do you make of the fact that he says he would rather give up the belt than fight you? That you just don't deserve it. He doesn't want to do it.
I mean, he feels that he's gonna lose the fight, and it's better to give the belt and then like go up or like wait when what happened with me, because he knows just I'm a big problem for him, and I'm gonna get his title. He knows that, and he wants to get easy fights with Perry or Gage or with someone, just make money and do defend. But with me, it's gonna be hard for him.
He talks about why he thinks Ilia is avoiding him, hinting that Ilia knows the fight wouldn't be easy. Arman makes it clear he's ready, healthy, and training harder than ever, but he's also patient, waiting for the UFC to make the right call. He's not just calling out Ilia for fun. He's pointing to the belt, the rankings, and the momentum he's built, showing that this fight is about more than just pride.
Do you believe he's ducking you?
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not Ilia, are you prepared? Because you obviously had the weight there or the thing in January with the injury, your back injury, and stuff like that. Are you prepared to fight someone else to prove to the UFC, like, look, I'm here to work with you guys and I want to get to this title?
Yeah, for sure. I already told them I'm ready. September, October, I'm in shape. I train every day, twice a day, and I'm healthy now. So, but if they told me like October with somebody and then December with Ilia.
In the interview, Arman goes deeper. He talks about training alongside Khamzat Chimaev, learning from one of the best and sharpening his skills every day. He hints at how this intense camp is pushing him to a new level without giving too much away. At the same time, he explains why he believes he deserves the next title shot and why he's not worried about Ilia's boxing or reputation.
You've been working with Khamzat out here in Los Angeles as he prepares for the title fight. What has it been like being part of this camp for such a big fight for him?
It's very good to be on his team, you know, and to help him as much as possible, and to learn something new from him, because he's such a high-level fighter, and his striking is good, wrestling is good, you know. I watch his sparrings and like to get some techniques from him, you know, and like to my future fights.
In the interview, Arman goes deeper. He talks about training alongside Khamzat Chimaev, learning from one of the best and sharpening his skills every day. He hints at how this intense camp is pushing him to a new level without giving too much away. At the same time, he explains why he believes he deserves the next title shot and why he's not worried about Ilia's boxing or reputation.
A lot of people, like professionals and other fighters, have said Arman is the one who deserves the title shot. Arman is the next guy. Arman is the most dangerous for Ilia. What does it mean to you that your peers all showed you so much respect to get the fight?
I mean, people knows who is the best, who gotta fight for the title, and if they gonna make the fighter, people gonna like try to hate them, you know, because it's not fair for me, you know, and for other ones. So they know who gotta fight for the title, and people support me, and we're gonna get that title. fight.
Arman's call-out isn't just a fight request, it's a statement. It's a mix of confidence, challenge, and warning. You get the feeling he's not just looking for a fight, he's setting the stage, letting everyone know he's ready for the test, and he's not going to wait forever. The tension builds as he explains why he sees himself as the true contender and why Ilia has every reason to be cautious.
Ilia Topuria, the pound-for-pound #1 fighter on the planet. That is according to the latest rankings. Ilia Topuria, the lightweight champion of the world, the former featherweight champion of the world, still has no opponent. To be fair, he only just knocked out Charles Oliveira in absolutely devastating fashion. And of course, Paddy Pimblett, the baddie, got into the octagon and they squared up and there's talk of them two fighting. However, Arman Tsarukyan is out there. He is ranked #1. We know that he pulled out because of hurting his back. Maybe it was a weight issue. A lot of people, a lot of hate to say that he shit his pants. I don't think that was the case at all. He's fought Islam Makhachev before on very short notice, pushed him and went to a decision in a relatively close fight. So I don't think he was scared one little bit. However, he wasn't reliable. The question is, who is Ilia going to fight next? Because a lot of his possible opponents, they are all talking. First of all, Islam Makhachev has said, look, listen, this is marketing. This is #1 bullshit.
This is #1 bullshit.
Why is this guy...
After Arman's calls and the ducking saga, the conversation shifts to what the experts think, and Michael Bisping has a lot to say. He breaks down the situation with Ilia Topuria, pointing out that the champ has options, but the question is whether he will face the real threat. Bisping highlights that Arman is ranked #1 and has proven himself against top competition, making him a serious challenge.
Fight. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the question I'm going to ask is Ilia Topuria pulling a John Jones? Because Arman Tsarukyan is a real threat to anybody, okay? He is a tremendous fighter. I know a lot of people discredit him for pulling out at the last minute, and rightly so, okay? That's not a good look. However, he's a really, really good fighter. Simple as that. He can do it all. He's got the striking, the wrestling, the cardio, the strength. He's very young. He's in his prime, and the man's an absolute monster. Simple as that.
Bisping also touches on the past when Arman had to pull out because of injury. He's clear that it wasn't about fear or not showing up. He explains that even with that hiccup, Arman is a complete fighter, strong, fast, skilled in striking and wrestling, and still young enough to be in his prime. Ilia, according to Bisping, knows this, and it's why he seems to be avoiding the fight.
Ilia Topuria said if the UFC made him fight Arman Tsarukyan, he would vacate the belt, okay?
And you have a guy in front who you don't know that maybe he could pull out from the fight. That's not something good for us. I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for the title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt.
He doesn't want to fight him. He wants nothing to do with Arman Tsarukyan. So now Arman Tsarukyan's out there. He's making videos of little ducks.
Ilia, stop running, Ilia. Stop running, Ilia. Good boy. I'll make it quick, no worries.
He's doing a Tom Aspinall, taking a duck wherever he went with him. Remember that whole saga with John Jones and Tom Aspinall, which thankfully now is all over. Tom is fighting Cyril Gane, as we know, in October in Abu Dhabi. But now we've got a new version, okay? Now it's Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan's even making a bet, offering him $500,000.
He compares the situation to John Jones and Tom Aspinall, showing how champions sometimes find ways to dodge dangerous challengers. Michael mentions the $500,000 bet Arman made, proving he's serious and pushing for a showdown. He points out that if Ilia keeps avoiding Arman, it doesn't look good for the champion and raises questions about merit-based matchups.
There's Paddy Pimblett that got in the cage. And yes, there is Justin Gaethje. Now, Justin Gaethje isn't even happy that there's talk of Paddy Pimblett fighting Ilia Topuria. This is what Justin had to say. He said, absolutely not fighting Paddy Pimblett, talking about Justin fighting him. If that's the route that they want me to take, I don't believe that the UFC need me anymore. I know that sounds pretty petty or whatever. I'm #3. I'm 3-1 in my last 4. The champion, Islam Makhachev, was calling to fight me, and he vacated. They bring in a new guy, and they give a guy that's 2-2 the fight, talking about Charles Oliveira. If their algorithm and their match tells me to just use me until I get beat, then I'm going to have to reevaluate what I'm doing here. I've signed up for a merit-based system. I have lived by that. If they want to give me Arman, which Arman had the fight, then I had the fight, and then I took someone else. He had the fight and then pulled out. Those are two different scenarios. For me to get put in the same position and fight for my spot, then I'm going to be upset about that. Well,
Bisping also looks at other fighters like Justin Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, explaining how merit, rankings, and marketability clash in these decisions. He stresses that while Ilia is an incredible champion and ambassador for the sport, avoiding the #1 contender doesn't sit right with fans or experts. Bisping underlines that Arman deserves his shot, regardless of the side stories or hype around other fighters.
Simple as that. Now, if you want to ask me how this all plays out, I would like to say that Ilia Topuria fights Arman Tsarukyan, but I've got a feeling it won't be that. I think Justin Gaethje might just be the guy. I think he's the guy that gets to go up against Ilia Topuria. The UFC respect Justin Gaethje. He's been around for a very long time. He puts on nothing but exciting fights. Yes, he's coming towards the end of his career, and he's kind of digging his shoes in a little bit and then saying, hey, it's title fight or bust for me. And you know what? I think the UFC will give him what he wants. So then you've got to hope that Ilia Topuria takes it. He can't start talking about, oh, Justin Gaethje doesn't deserve it, because what's going on? When you become the champion, you have an obligation to take on all comers, to take on who is ranked #1, to take on big fights, to just take on bloody someone. You can't become the champion and then sit around on the side.
Finally, Bisping leaves a hint of prediction, suggesting that even though Arman is the legitimate #1 contender, the UFC might favor a more marketable fight, like Ilia versus Justin Gaethje. He stresses that the fight everyone wants to see is Ilia against Arman, but the politics of the sport make it uncertain. He keeps it open-ended, leaving fans guessing about who will actually step into the octagon next.
All right, I'm gonna break. I'm gonna officially give you some of the worst kept secret matchup going on in MMA right now. But Ilia Topuria is fighting Arman Tsarukyan. And yes, I am telling you that. So, but it doesn't cease to be interesting. Like, there is a number of guys at 155 who have called out Topuria, and I don't mean to fight him. They've called him out and said, "Hey, what a coward! Hey, this guy should fight Tsarukyan. I can't believe he's ducking Tsarukyan."
After Bisping breaks down the situation with Ilia and Arman, Chael Sonnen jumps in with his perspective. He starts by calling this one of the worst kept secrets in MMA, teasing that the matchup everyone is talking about is Ilia versus Arman. Sonnen sets the stage by pointing out that a lot of fighters at 155 pounds have been calling out Ilia, not because they want to fight him, but because they think he's avoiding the real threat.
Do have a recipe. They're creatures of habit. No more than when Ilia steps outside and dips, he's going to throw a hook. 100% of the time to your face, not to your body. Not looking for your liver. Not a shovel hook. He's stepping outside, boom, he's coming with a calf punch. I mean, I'm just sharing, like, they're creatures of habit.
He emphasizes that Ilia has habits and patterns inside the octagon, much like Silva did. Every time Ilia moves outside, Sonnen points out, you can expect a hook to come for the chin. This isn't just a technique, it's part of a larger formula for how Ilia handles fights and media attention.
Being a dick behind the scenes, to call Ilia a coward. I mean, this is such strong language, and I do feel like people have forgot what happened in the last 3 months. Ilia Topuria did not move up to 155 to fight for a vacant title. That is your mind playing a trick on you. He did not move up to 155 to fight Charles Oliveira for a championship. That is your mind misremembering. Ilia Topuria dropped the belt and moved to 155, coming straight after Islam Makhachev.
Sonnen then breaks down why calling Ilia a coward is unfair. He reminds everyone that Topuria didn't move up to 155 for a vacant title. He came for a specific path, chasing opponents like Islam Makhachev first. Sonnen says that labeling him as ducking Arman ignores the bigger picture and recent events in the division.
But for fellow 155 pounders to be sitting back and to be judging and to be pointing a finger at Ilia Topuria, Ilia is playing you. Ilia is going to fight Tsarukyan. And outside of an illness or an injury, he's going to fight Tsarukyan next.
Finally, Sonnen predicts that Ilia will take the fight against Arman, outside of unexpected injury or illness. He stresses that Ilia is playing a long game, building hype and controlling timing, and that fans and fighters judging him too quickly are misreading the situation. Coming right off Sonnen's breakdown of how Ilia works the media and opponents, Demetrius Johnson takes the conversation in a different direction. Instead of focusing on the promotion side of things, he looks at what actually happens inside the cage. He lays out how fighters like Arman and Paddy each bring their own style, but also where he thinks their real strengths lie. He keeps it straightforward, and you can tell he's paying close attention to the technical matchups rather than the headlines. From his perspective, Ilia stands out because he's not just solid everywhere, but carries fight-ending power. That power is something Johnson clearly values, and he frames it in a way that makes you picture Ilia finding those perfect moments to shut things down. He doesn't give a step-by-step of how that would happen, but the way he talks about getting to the right spot leaves you wondering how much of that is skill, timing, or instinct.
I reckon he's going to try, because he loves to try and beat people where they're good at, but I feel like people underestimate Ilya's IQ. Like, I don't think he's just going to risk going into where Arman's good just to prove a point.
No, I think he's gonna knock Arman out. I don't think he cares to wrestle with anybody. I think he's gonna get himself to the right spot and try to knock everybody out.
Then comes the part where the focus shifts to a possible fight with Islam. You might expect a big revelation here, but Johnson doesn't bite. His stance doesn't change based on Ilia's recent performance, and that quiet confidence in his original take says a lot. He doesn't oversell it, and that makes you want to see for yourself what he sees. Right after Johnson's calm, measured breakdown of styles, Kamaru Usman steps in with a different kind of energy. He immediately points to the stakes outside the cage, saying that if Arman goes in there and wins, he's not just earning a victory, he's cementing himself as a star. In Usman's view, the build-up and the way Arman has stirred interest in this fight have already elevated his profile. On the other side, Ilia's star power is already there, and every big win just turns that light up even brighter. Usman makes it clear that this is the matchup people want, not a detour against someone like Paddy. He brings up Ilia's comments about never giving Arman a title shot, even saying he'd rather give up the belt than face him. That kind of statement doesn't just ruffle feathers, it gets the UFC's attention in a bad way. Then Usman warns about the danger of thinking you're bigger than the UFC. He doesn't spell it out completely, but you can sense the history behind that point. Fighters who've tried to play that game often end up on the wrong side of the promotion. In his tone, there's a mix of respect for Ilia's skill and a subtle caution about how he's handling this moment. So whether you see Ilia's moves as pure strategy or a case of ducking, one thing's for sure, he knows exactly how to keep his name buzzing. But do you think this is genius fight marketing or just avoiding a dangerous challenge? Let us know in the comments below.